Hi everybody, it's Heather, and today I'm bringing you Angie Revisited. Now by and large, people who order this wig from me have really liked it. The feedback I've gotten has been really positive, and everything's cool, everybody's happy. But recently I got a feedback back from someone that wasn't quite so positive, and in the effort to try to minimize frustration on your end and on my end, I figure I might want to address some of those concerns publicly, not naming names or anything, but that way, if she had these questions, maybe if you have these questions, we can clear some of this stuff up, so that way you don't end up ordering a wig that you don't like, and that if you do get this wig and you love it for the right reasons. I just want to make sure you know what you're getting into when you get this wig. By and large, this is the most popular wig on my site. I sell a lot of it. And so the fact that I've only ever had one negative comment from it, I think is pretty telling that it's a nice wig, especially when it's on sale. So let's get to point number one. Don't buy this wig full price. Just don't do it. Don't buy any Envy wig full price. You may have heard, other video bloggers like Cynthia before she took her reviews offline, and a few others mention, Envy wigs tend to be kind of inconsistent in their quality. But they're not inconsistent per style. They're just inconsistent between the styles, if you know what I mean. Like some styles are wonderful and others are horrible, and it's kind of hit or miss which one is which. But Angie, the quality is very consistent within that particular style. Same thing goes for, Ashley and any number of other styles, Carly, Madison. Those are good wigs, and they're gonna be good wigs regardless of what color, what batch, what style you get. But there are others where the cap construction issues or just the style, like for instance Bobby. I keep using that as like my golden example, where the picture looks great, it looks like a beautiful style, and then it's just not worth the money. It's a mess. So I would say, because of this inconsistency, wait till they go on sale and then buy them. Don't ever pay full price, because for one, they are overpriced to begin with. They're very overpriced. But if you can get them on a good sale, they're really nice, and they have some very nice styles. And believe it or not, as limited as their color selection is, I actually like some of their colors a lot. This is one of them. I really, really like the cinnamon raisin color. I think that golden nutmeg's really pretty. There are some really pretty colors out there. So that's number one. Don't ever buy them full price. Secondly, know who this wig is best suited for. If you have a small head or a petite frame, do not buy this wig. I cannot say that more emphatically. And by a large margin, this is probably where this particular customer's main problems were, because she saw it on my face, and I say over and over and over again, I have a big head, a big frame, so if you don't, make sure you get some pictures or see online what this looks like on someone with a smaller head, smaller frame. The models would probably be a good representation of that. Not the manufacturer pics, but the models, from various other wig vendors and stuff like that, because they tend to have very small heads. This wig has a lot of hair. A lot of hair, especially for a short wig, and it has a lot of volume and a lot of layering. And this will easily overwhelm someone that has a smaller frame. Now on me, I think it actually looks pretty sweet. I think it looks kind of edgy and funky and fun, and I like the volume. I think it actually evens out some of the width of my frame. But if you're smaller, you get what I'm saying? It's just not going to look right on you. And so just keep that in mind. It looks best on people who have slightly larger frames, or people who like a lot of volume. If you want a lot of volume, go with this one, because I've actually tamed this down quite a bit, but it can actually get really, really poofy depending on what you're looking for. So the next thing I'd like to address is the hair in the back. And then once I'm done with this third point, I'll get to the cap construction. So I'm going to turn to the side so that way I can still kind of see the camera, but you can still kind of see what I mean back here. This particular customer mentioned that she didn't like the way that the hair laid in the back. Well, the back is heavily, heavily layered. It's got a lot of layering going on, and the layers at the top are actually shorter than the layers at the bottom, and that gives it more volume. It gives it a ton of volume, and helps it look kind of edgy. Well, because she had such a small frame and such a small face and you know, such a small neck and everything, it completely overwhelmed her, and it made the back look really, really wiggy. I don't actually think that the back looks that wiggy. Now, there's virtually no movement. The hair is quite stiff. You will have to use some kind of shaping product, like a shaping cream or something like that, if you want it to lay flatter or if you want it to be piecier. But it's supposed to be a little bit edgy and funky. This is not necessarily, you know, an elegant style. You know, if you want something that's a little bit more poshed and polished, you might want to go with like a regular bob or something like that. This definitely has some shaggy elements to it. And the back is pretty much my prime argument for that. I like the back, and the quality of the MV hair fibers is really nice. The hair is quite soft, but because it's so short and kind of razored back there, it gives it a texture. And so definitely keep that in mind. This is a very textured wig, especially in the back. And the back is much different than the front. The front can be slicked down. The front has much longer layers. And so the texture in the front is going to feel different than the texture in the back, just by the way that the hair fibers have been cut. So I know that might seem, you know, intuitive. It might seem like a no-brainer to mention that, but I failed to make sufficient note of that in the first video, and I definitely wanted to address that now. I really like this style. It has a full monofilament top that goes from here to here and goes all the way back to here, and I'll take the cap off in a second to show you. Angie also has a lace front. And I actually think that some of these MV lace fronts are getting better, but some of them are not perfect. You can see right here that little line that people talk about in MV wigs. I don't really care that it's there, but it's just one of those reasons why, like I said before, never buy these wigs full price. And they're almost always on sale on my site. So I try to price them where I think that they should be priced. You know, I try to make this particular style and a few of the others very low to kind of fall in line with what I think they're actually worth, as opposed to what the manufacturer says I can get away with charging. And that's one of the many reasons, because this is where the wefting stops, and that's where the lace front begins, and it's almost like there's a little right there. I don't know what to call that, so I just made a sound effect, sorry. But given that this has such long layers in the front, and that the layers just kind of cover that up, it's not really that big of a deal. Even when you tuck it behind your ear, no one's going to notice. But if you're a real stickler about that stuff, that might be a deal breaker. It just depends on where that line is drawn for you. So another thing I want to address is the same thing occurs where the lace front hits the monotop right there. You can see what a lot of people refer to as that NV line that occurs in their monotops. Again, it doesn't really bother me that much. It would probably bother me more in a very light color. So I would definitely recommend getting a rooted shade on this particular wig, or a color that's a slightly darker color, because with the lighter coloring, especially if your bio hair is dark, that particular line is going to be really, really obvious. So let me go ahead and take this off. And this time, unlike the last review, I did wear a lighter colored skin cap so you could actually see that line. So let me turn this inside out. That's what that line originates from. There's like a gel comfort grip right here up against the lace front, and that's what creates that line. But it also helps the wig stay in place. So like I said, I don't really mind it so much because then I don't have to use glue or tape or anything like that. And I do believe that the MV lace fronts have been getting a little bit better because it appears as though the lace, that the hair is going almost all the way up to where the lace begins, which has not always been the case with MV styles. Has open wefted sides and back. And MV styles fit, not all MV styles, but this MV style specifically, because like I said, they tend to be inconsistent between the styles, but individual styles are quite consistent. This wig fits big. It does not fit small. And that's kind of falls in line with what I mentioned earlier about how the hair is best suited for people with a big frame. I actually think that with very little modification, this could make a pretty decent unisex wig. It just depends on who's buying it and what kind of look they're trying to achieve. But it's edgy enough and the cap is big enough that you could probably do that. Now, it's not a large cap. It's still an average size cap, but it's like average, large-ish, you know? So let me go ahead and put this back on and wrap this one up since it's running really long. But I wanted to be really thorough about this one because I really like this style and I want to make sure that, you know, I'm representing its strengths and weaknesses well. Lots of layering in the front, lots of hair, like I mentioned earlier, and the layers right out of the box just kind of want to frame the face, which I think is so cute. I kind of love that. And here I'm kind of trying to separate the layers a little bit so you can see just what's going on. So lots and lots of layers. And again, you can get a lot of volume out of this. A lot of volume out of this. Because of all the razoring and all the volume of hair. So, I mean, you can do all kinds of things with this one. I don't know. It's just, even when it's sloppy, I kind of think it's hot, but it just depends on your personal aesthetic, I guess. And that's the thing with beauty supplies. You're never going to be able to, you know, hit that with everybody. You know, no one's gonna, there's never gonna be a wig that everyone universally likes. Somebody somewhere along the line is gonna have something negative to say about it. And though this wig does have a couple of shortcomings, you know, namely that, I like it. I think it's a good wig. And because of the way that the layers are cut in the back, if you need to thin it out, it should be easy to accomplish, and no one will be able to tell that it's been thinned. But I would just say know in advance, when you order this wig, that it's got a lot of hair, a lot of layering, and it's meant for someone that doesn't have a petite head, or something even close to a petite head. If you have a narrow face, do not get this wig. So that's my 2 cents on Angie, or 10 cents, or at this point 14 minutes worth of sense. Hopefully this has cleared up any questions you might have had about this wig. If there's something I didn't address, just put it in the comments and I'll be sure to answer that right away for you. And hopefully you have a great day. Oh, and by the way, this wig, just like all of my review wigs, usually ends up in the clearance section because I can't sell them new, because I've opened the box and put them on my head. So this particular wig will be on clearance until it's gone. So if you are interested in Angie and you like this color, check out the clearance section of my site. It's only ever been tried for this review, and as soon as I'm done with this camera, I'm taking it off and putting it right back in the box. So it'll be ready to go, brand new condition, in box with tags. So hit me up if you're interested. Have a great day, and hopefully I'll be talking to you again soon. Bye-bye.